Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our third community chat, which is focusing on living well, highlighting our parks and recreation departments. We are extremely excited for you all to join us this evening in person as well as online. And we are going to dive right in. As a reminder, the community chats are a vehicle for us to have conversation to feature each of our departments in the city of Orangeburg, and also have an opportunity for you to ask any questions, get additional information about the services that we're offering in the city of Orangeburg. If you have any questions online, feel free to use that QR code that is available on our site to submit your questions, and we will get those addressed before the end of the evening. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to our Director of Parks and Recreation, Mr. Sean Taylor, to open us up and get us started.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here. My name is Sean Taylor, and I am the Director of Parks and Recreation for the City of Orangeburg. And I want to start by saying something very simple. This department is yours. The parks that you walk through, the ball fields where your children play, the gardens where you take the family photos, the gym where our seniors line dance weekly. All of it belongs to you. And tonight, I want to talk to you about what we do, why it matters, and where we are going and heading together. So, what is the purpose of Parks and Recreation? Some people think we just about mowing grass, organizing sports leagues, and yes, we do those things, and we take pride in doing them. But the real purpose goes much deeper. First, we are an economical engine. When we host softball tournaments at the Orangeburg Recreation Complex, families come from all over the state. They book hotel rooms, they eat at our local restaurants, they buy gas and groceries. In fact, this past year, our tournaments generated revenue and brought tens of thousands of visitors to our great city. And next year, we will be hosting the DYB World Series, a 72-team tournament that will be conducted over a 2-week period. Secondly, we are a public health asset. We provide the place where communities get moving. The walking trails at Summers Park, the tennis courts at Abogati, the golf course at Hillcrest, the spray park, which we are working very hard to repair and reopen on Memorial Day. Every child plays soccer, and senior goes line dancing, or a family spend the afternoon at the garden. This is a health intervention, that is prevention, that is quality of life. Thirdly, we are a community builder. Parks are the living room of our city. They are where we gather for the Rose Festival, which I am proud to say was voted best festival by the Time and Democrat. They are where we hold senior bingo, where the Silver Slippers dance weekly, and where 270 volunteers, coaches give their time mentoring our youth. Those volunteers saved our city over $100,000 in labor costs each year. That is not a line item on the budget. That is the love of community. Now, I would like to be honest. This past year was hard. We suffered a historic flood, catastrophic damage in the Edisto Memorial Gardens and our Webster Woods, and even our spray park was damaged again. But despite all of that, our revenue was good, our expense was stable, our baseball and softball grew, our camps had a 10% increase in participation. And so that's not my success, that is the success of our staff, our volunteers, and our community. So tonight, we want to hear from you. What you do about our parks, what needs to be changed, what programs would you like to see? Because again, this department is yours. We have big things coming, the DYB World Series, new technology at our Hillcrest Golf Course, and we would like to keep our facilities clean and our gardens beautiful. But most important thing tonight is the conversation. So thank you for coming. Thank you for caring about our city, and let's get started with our conversation. And at this time, I would like to introduce our staff. To my immediate right is Mr. Houston Harley, our park superintendent. Wave at everyone. To my left is the Honorable Councilwoman Annette Grievous.
Hello.
To my further left is our Deputy Director, Mr. Marty Kiner. And keep going further left is our Sports Operation Manager, Matthew Gleaton. And my further left is our Community Events Coordinator, Ms. Meredith Garris. Ms. Grievous?
Well, thank you for that introduction, Mr. Taylor. So I want to start with a couple of questions. So how many parks do we have in the city of Orangeburg?
We currently manage 19 playgrounds and parks.
Okay, and you mentioned, of course, this is a great time of year for this particular community chat. We're coming off of the Festival of Roses, and which is a huge event that the Parks and Recreation Department is a part of. And of course, school is getting ready to end for the school year, so we'll have kids who hopefully want to engage in some of our activities that are sponsored by the Parks and Recreation Department. Can you speak about some of those activities that might be available to kids and even adults this summer?
All righty, I'm going to pass that question to our Sports Operation Manager, Matthew Gleaton.
All right, for our kids, coming up, we have our summer camps. We have cheerleading, which will run through June 1st through the 5th. Our tennis camp, which we did last year for the first time, and we had great numbers. I think we had 25 kids last year, and we look to hopefully get those kids back and maybe increase. Hopefully they went out and told their friends how much fun they had, and they'll join us this year again, and that one will also be the 1st through the 5th. We also have volleyball, a volleyball camp, which will be held at our city gym, located at 410 Broughton Street. And it will be June the 8th through the 12th. And we also have a baseball and softball camp. We had to move it up a week this year due to us hosting a state tournament. And it will also be the 8th through the 8th through the 12th. Every Wednesday, we do have bingo at our city gym, line dancing as well at our city gym, and pickleball. And we also have on Sundays, we will have open play from 2 to 7 for any kids interested in basketball or volleyball.
Awesome. So,
Yeah, I was going to speak on the tennis camp a little bit. So the tennis camp was new last year, and it was probably our most popular one, and one that we have had a lot of questions about is it coming back? And we were fortunate enough, the South Carolina Tennis Association came down and met with us, and we applied for a grant where we were able to get new rackets, new balls, and Matt actually ran that camp last year due to unforeseen circumstances, but they gave us the opportunity to pay an instructor with that grant. So we're fortunate enough for that, and we're looking to build on tennis in the future, not only with the youth, but with the adults as well.
awesome. Thank you. And so what are the age ranges for those camps, and are they open to boys and girls?
Yes, ma'am. Boys and girls, ages 6 to 12.
6 to 12. So do we have anything for middle school age children, or I guess 12 would be getting a little closer to high school?
No, ma'am, we don't offer, we don't have any camps specifically, but we will take them if they do come in, we will take them. We don't turn any kids away, so it doesn't matter what age, we'll fit you in.
Awesome, awesome. And so what's the affordability like for these camps? What sort
All
of
our
cost?
camps are a flat $50 fee, whether you're a resident or a non-resident. So we don't charge anything extra for being a non-resident. So
Okay. And if, so you mentioned camps happening in June primarily. Do we have anything happening in July, or is that, does
when
that kind of?
July starts pushing into where we have in our softball and baseball state tournaments at ORC. So we had to get our camps in as soon as possible with that taking place.
Awesome. So lots of opportunity for them to be spectators.
Yes, ma'am.
In July. So, if parents want to find out more information about these camps, what's the best resource for them?
That would be the City of Orangeburg webpage, orangeburgparks.com. And registration is open. It's been open for about 2 weeks now. And it will run until the end of the month.
Okay. So given that popularity with the tennis camps, we want to get those registrations in early. Okay, so I want to shift a little bit to what you said is coming up in July, the DYB, which is the Diamond Youth Baseball World Series, and that is being hosted again in the city of Orangeburg. And if I'm correct, this will be the third time that the city of Orangeburg is hosting the DYB. I'm not sure who I'm shifting the question to.
Go ahead.
I'll give it to Marty in a little bit, but this is our second time,
Second
and
time.
it'll be coming up in 2027 would be the World Series. But before 2027, this year, 2026, we will host our state tournament for our DYB. We'll have 36 teams, and then we will have our softball state will have 36 teams as well. And that will be happening in mid-July, late June, early July. Will be hosted at our recreational park here in Orangeburg. So we're very fortunate to be able to host our state tournament where we bring in teams from throughout the entire state. All 12 districts in the state of South Carolina will participate in those tournaments, bringing visitors again to the city of Orangeburg to have a great day on the diamond.
Awesome.
So, yes, ma'am, a little bit about that. June 19th through 23rd will be the softball tournament, which is 6U, 8U, and 10U, 36 teams, like Mr. Taylor said. June 19th will be opening ceremony at Claflin University. June 20th starts play, double elimination play. The following week, we will host rookie baseball, which is 5- and 6-year-old baseball, coach pitch. That is June 26th through the 30th. June 26th being opening ceremony at the Orangeburg City Gym.
And so can we talk a little bit about the impact this has on the city? You mentioned the, of course, economic impact. Those of you listening and attending do understand that the traffic might be a little heavier towards the end of June. And what other impacts can we anticipate to the city of Orangeburg?
Our hotels and our restaurants will be busy. When we go back and look at our data from 2024, it's recorded and estimated a $1.4 million economical impact for indirect and direct impact to our local economy. And so we're very excited about that. And one of the things that we learned during that time was that our visitors talked about, having the availability of restaurants and making sure that those restaurants are open and ready to receive those visitors from all over this South region. And so we're excited about that again, and we constantly talk about it because it puts Orangeburg on the map and show our great Southern hospitality. It's a wonderful thing when you have visitors that are participating in tournaments like these, and then they come to our hometown and have a great time. And when they say, wow, we were able to experience a quality tournament. We have a great facility. I think we have one of the best facilities in the state of South Carolina. And so we're very, very proud of that. And we always want to continue to promote, the Garden City and being able to have play here.
Awesome, awesome. So we will have teams from Orangeburg represented in both of those tournaments.
Absolutely. This year, we're very fortunate. All 6 divisions will have a team representing Orangeburg in our state tournament. So we're excited about that. We're so excited, we haven't offered always 6U in softball, but because we're hosting it, we want to make sure those youngsters have an opportunity as well to play in that state tournament. So this year, we will be adding our softball 6U team in the state tournament as well.
And so most of this activity is happening at the North Road Complex. And so while some may assume that this is outside of the city limits, and that assumption might be accurate, this is a facility that is owned and operated by the city of
Absolutely.
Orangeburg?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, thank you for that information. And again, that is the Diamond Youth State Championship that is being hosted at the end of June. So now I want to shift a little bit to the public health asset, which I think encompasses more so of our parks. And also, I think that also might include our gardens as well.
Absolutely.
And so, Mr. Houston, you were probably the newest member of the team, and we welcome you. Can you talk a little bit about the Edisto Memorial Gardens? Of course, we just finished the Rose Festival, and what the Rose Garden might mean to the city of Orangeburg, and what you might see on the horizon for the Edisto Memorial Gardens.
Yeah, so we just finished up our Rose Festival, and we had a pretty good turnout Sunday. Saturday it rained, but that's okay. And the Rose Garden currently has 5,000 plants and over 150 different rose varieties. The roses are currently in bloom, and we're trying to begin the process of deadheading to remove the flowers as they come and go. Also, one of the main rules is just not to pick the flowers so people can enjoy that. And we're looking forward to, just seeing how it goes throughout the season, and hopefully everybody can come enjoy it.
Awesome. Are there any walking trails out there at Edisto Memorial Gardens that families, kids, adults might be able to take advantage of?
Yeah, there's quite a bit of walking trails. There's walking trails through the boardwalk, which has a few places that are temporarily closed due to the flood. And we're about to renovate some of those areas here shortly with replacing some of the old boards that have kind of, I guess, just over time started to rot and whatnot. But we're gonna replace those. We're gonna try to pressure wash the entire boardwalk. And then we're even talking about getting some sealer to put it back on it to protect it from future erosion. And, just keep it solid for hopefully 20, 30 years to come. But there's walking trails around the cypress ponds and through the Azalea Garden and Centennial Park and the Sensory Garden, and just pretty much everywhere is a trail.
Awesome.
So if you park at the lower parking lot, there's head trails from if you just look left or right, there's 2 or 3 different head trails. You can just pick one and it makes a big loop. And you can pretty much end by the water and then walk your way back up through the Rose Garden. Depends on which way you go.
Should we get in the water?
You can if you want.
So we do have some spots, and we were at a spot earlier today that is like a gazebo and is shaded, and then there's like some beach sand there where some people will go and have a picnic and kind of sit with their feet in the water. So you can get in the waters. It's the river, but to each its own.
Yeah, there's snakes and alligators in there, so
Yeah.
most people wouldn't want
Right.
to get in it. It's black water. Technically, there's a boat landing that we maintain as well, just south of the bridge, and you can put a kayak in there, and if you wanted to paddle up or down, you're welcome to do that.
So proceed with caution.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And visitors are welcome to fish in the river. However, not fish in our pond, which is in the Memorial Gardens.
Okay. Well, thank you for that information. So, continuing on this path of maintenance, but before I go there, are there any new flowers or anything that we should expect to see in the Rose Gardens this spring? We're in
Yeah.
spring, but summer?
Yeah, we ordered in quite a bit of roses, I think about 700 new roses, and we planted them in April. So those are just now flushing out, and probably in the next month, they'll start putting on new buds in those new beds. So when you go down there, you can tell the older varieties that have been there for a while, they're the larger shrubs, and then you see the smaller ones. Those aren't just because they're something, happened to them, it's just because they're newly planted plants. So about a month, you'll see some new rose color there.
Good. So lots to see and do at Edisto Memorial Gardens this summer and spring before it gets too hot in the summer. So going back to our maintenance plan, you said there are a number of parks in the city of Orangeburg. Can we talk about the maintenance plan for these parks and what some of these parks might have to offer that residents might not be aware of?
Well, again, we have parks throughout our city, and they have a lot of different amenities. They have playscapes, we have courts in some of our parks, we have tennis courts there, we have trails in some of our parks, we have smaller playscapes for some of our younger citizens. And so it's a variety of amenities throughout all of our city parks, and our maintenance staff, are there to kind of maintenance those and try to keep them up weekly. And I always tell citizens throughout our city, anytime that they find a park that has challenges or they have concerns, don't hesitate to call our office at 803-533-6020. And we will address those issues as quickly as we can.
And can you repeat that number once more?
803-533-6020, 6020.
And what sort of challenges might they call about? Like, what's something that they might see that is, of concern and should reach out to the city about?
Trash. We do get a lot of animals in our parks. We do have a policy where all animals must be on leashes at all times. And just make sure they clean up behind themselves. So that's one of the biggest things and complaints that we hear about our park. We do hear about dog parks, and so we're looking at that. That's part of one of our comprehensive plans to identify locations, how we can, get one. But the dog park idea and thought has been talked about in previous conversations, and so we are looking at the concerns of our citizens and trying to address them appropriately.
We also do trash detail every week.
Okay.
So there's 2 guys that go around on Mondays and Fridays and pick up trash, take out go around physically in the park, hand pick up all the trash, and then all the trash cans that are there, they take out the bag that have the trash in it and put a new bag every week. And they try to do it on, well, not try, they do it on Mondays after the weekend, and then do it on Fridays, so that way it's prepped, ready to go pretty much at all times. And they go also weekly and mow these areas too, so that the grass is cut and, nothing is getting out of control. So all the areas are taken care of weekly, so.
Awesome. So talking about events and prepping the parks for weekend traffic, I think someone mentioned possibly having like a picnic in the park. Are our parks open throughout the day and night? Are they available for anyone to come and have a picnic or have any type of event or activity? Or might they need to call our events coordinator for any particular event or activity that they want to have in the park?
Our parks are open from dusk to dawn, 7 days a week. Our pavilions, we do have shelters or pavilions that are open to the public, and they can be reserved for citizens for like private functions on the weekend. But everything is dusk to dawn. All our parks throughout the city are open from dusk to dawn. Special events, depending upon the type of event you want to have in our local park, you will contact our community events coordinator's office, and she will give you the paperwork, the instructions on how to do that or secure them. We do have private rentals that we allow in facilities and or our pavilions. And so that's pretty much how you can navigate what event can happen versus what can't.
Okay. So you mentioned reservation and you also mentioned rentals. So I don't know if this is a question for Meredith in terms of what's the difference in terms of what says that this is going to be a rental versus a just a reservation?
So we have private rentals and we have special events. Private rentals would be you having a birthday party for someone in your family. It's by invitation only. You know who's coming and attending. A special event would be something that is open to the public that they're invited to come out to. So we do have a new special events ordinance that was adopted 2.5 years ago by City Council. So we do have a special event permitting process where you would actually complete an application, so we would know what type of event you're having. And then you would, I would take those through to the different departments to make sure that we would have a safe and proactive event where all departments know what is needed and our citizens can have a great event within the city limits of Orangeburg. Those can be both at our facilities that are city-owned and other event spaces owned by other entities in the city of Orangeburg.
So with the private events that are happening at city-owned spaces, is there a fee attached for those private events? If I want to rent a shelter for a birthday party that is by invite only?
Yes, there are different costs associated with different facilities. Very reasonable for our shelters, $75 for 4 hours, $125 for 8 hours. Those are our most popular places to rent for birthday parties, as well as our canteen, also very affordable. So you can contact the Parks and Rec office at 803-533-6020 or look at the website orangeburgparks.com for a breakdown, but we're always willing to check the calendar to see what's available for your private rental.
Okay. And if I just want to come and have a picnic in the park, do I need to make a reservation?
Not necessarily. Our parks are open to the general public from dawn to dusk every day. Our Orangeburg Department of Public Safety has permit requests for gatherings of 20 or more.
20 or
So if you and your family just want to come out on a random Sunday and have a picnic, come on out. However, if you see that there is an event going on, they are using the space. Go to the playground, go right next door. We have plenty of room in the Edisto Memorial Gardens for anyone to come out.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. And so now I want to talk about spaces that people may not necessarily know falls under the guise of Parks and Rec. Can you talk about any of those spaces? We've talked about parks, we've talked about Edisto Memorial Gardens, we've talked about the shelters, the picnic spaces, our parks, but what are some other spaces that fall under Parks and Recreation that people may not necessarily know?
Typically, all our open green spaces throughout the city, we, our gateway, the new gateway park that we have on the corner of Chestnut and 601. So typically, all our green spaces, we have some islands throughout the city that we manage and try to and keep beautified throughout the city. But the green spaces, welcome signs, any green space really, open green spaces
Except the
managed by
Frisbee
the
Golf
park.
Park.
And Hillcrest Golf is also in Parks and Recreation. So we do a lot of things. And one thing that a lot of agencies or a lot of people don't know, we also manage the 2 local cemeteries that the city own and operate. Parks and Recreation also manages those properties. And we're probably one of 3 municipalities throughout the state of South Carolina that currently still, the Parks and Rec Department manages the cemetery.
Okay. So if we have issues with our cemeteries and/or want to utilize our cemeteries, then we would contact Parks and Recreation for those services?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you mentioned the Gateway Park. Can you talk a little bit about that space? That's probably one of our newer spaces in the city of Orangeburg out of all of the parks and that we have in the city. Can you talk a little bit about that space and how one might utilize that space? Because I haven't seen a lot of traffic out there, and I'm not certain that the city is fully aware that it, they might have seen it, but they may not understand that it's also a park.
So that is a very beautiful space to use. It's you can walk in it. It has some trails and stuff. It has a little bench that you can have leisure, sit there and read. But the view and the concept is very, very important to us. It's what we call it Gateway, it's like the gateway into the city of Orangeburg. And it's a snapshot of what you should see about the Garden City. And so the concept is to give visitors and citizens that Garden City feel, that what we stand for, what we are so proud about here in the city. And so Gateway was designed for that, to be the entrance to the city of Orangeburg. It's that gateway into what we're trying to do and beautify our city and make sure folks understand how important it is to have clean, green spaces for citizens to enjoy and the like.
Okay. And that is Gateway Park located at the corner of Magnolia or 601 and Chestnut Street. And so moving on to Hillcrest, that's another one of the city's babies, but can you talk a little bit about Hillcrest and future plans or current plans for Hillcrest and how the city plays a part in that ownership?
And so the city, we leased that property from South Carolina State, and we're in partnership with South Carolina State. And so currently, right now, we're bringing in some new technology that we feel that will make Hillcrest a destination again. Hillcrest has a lot of heritage and history here in the city of Orangeburg, and so we're very excited to add the top tracer technology. And our goal is to have it up before the summer ends, and so we broke ground with that last week, and so we're excited about that technology. And then we also have a plan of renovation that we've partnered with South Carolina State to help us invest millions of dollars into it to help renovate and upkeep, improve Hillcrest Golf. And so we're excited about those plans in the upcoming year or two for Hillcrest. And so, again, it's going to be a destination. We're very excited about that. We have a great 18-hole course that's located right there off 601, 301. You can get there from a lot of angles, and so you might be traveling up and you want to just play 18 holes. And so to have a course that we have, the layout of that 18-hole course is very, very good. And so it's something that we're looking forward to in years to come.
And so can you talk a little bit about what Top Tracer is for those who might not be familiar with Top Tracer?
So Top Tracer is technology. It's the sister, what I would call the sister to Top Golf. It's powered by Top Golf. Top Tracer is, that brand, and so you get to be able to play games. You can work on your driving. You can, have a great night out with the Top Tracer technology. The technology is just endless. It gives you multiple versions of play. Just like you playing 18 holes, or you just want to be on the driving range with some friends. And so we're excited about being able to have the versatility of offering the Top Tracer technology for just somebody that might not even know how to play, to those pro golfers that we have in our community. So it's versatile, and it gives you an opportunity to have some leisure and recreation fun for those beginners and those pros.
So will the golf course as we know it go away, and will we only have Top Tracer as an option, or if I wanted to play a regular 18 holes of golf, can I also do that as well?
Absolutely. We will offer it. One of the concepts of Top Tracer, the technology, is to introduce you to golf, and you have so much fun, then you can go and play 18 or 9 holes. And so the golf course, 18 holes, will always be there, and will be open to the public as well. And so the concept is if you just want to come out for a nice day of some rounds of golf and hit on the driving range with your friends, or you want to warm up and get ready to go play 18 or 9 holes, is the concept for the Top Tracer technology.
So will this be open to all ages, adults only, or?
All ages.
All ages. And so while these renovations are happening, and so you said it will, the renovations are happening now, while these renovations are happening, is the golf course still available for regular golf play?
Yes, ma'am. Currently, our driving range is down until we complete construction of the Top Tracer, but you can still come out. We have our putting greens to where if we have citizens or guests that would like to try to warm up in the putting areas, and then you can still go out and play 18 holes currently.
Okay. And so if citizens, so lots of activities on the horizon in terms of summer camps coming up, spectator, well, if you have a little one that's involved in baseball or softball, hopefully you'll come out and watch that little one, or just come out and watch some of these other teams from across the state. That's at the end of July. June, end of June. And then we, of course, have lots of parks throughout the city. Our Spray Park is opening back up on Memorial Day, so that will be available to citizens. And Hillcrest Golf Course is getting a bit of a facelift or renovation, and so there will be lots of activity offered there. I'm not sure if we've had any questions submitted as of yet that we have not addressed. But again, we want to remind you that if you have an event or questions, the number to call is 803-533-6020. Again, that number is 803-533-6020, or you can always visit our website for additional information. Any final thoughts from each of you? You've met our new horticulturist that is taking care of Edisto Memorial Gardens, the director of Parks and Rec, Sean Taylor, the assistant director of Parks and Rec, Marty Kennard, and Mr. Matt, who is over all of our wonderful summer camps and sometimes also instructing, leading some of those summer camps. And Ms. Meredith, who, of course, if you have an event that you want to have in the city, you need to contact her. Any final thoughts from each of you that you want to share with our citizens?
No, I just want to add the sports that we do offer for throughout the season. So during the fall time, we offer co-ed soccer for ages 3 to 12. We offer flag football for ages 4 to 8, and tackle football in 10U and 12U. Then when we go to the winter, we offer both boys and girls basketball for ages 3 to 12. And we also offer cheerleading in the fall and the winter. And when we get over to the spring, we got baseball and softball for ages 3 to 12. We're very excited about the growth of our sports. We've seen an uptick in soccer and football as well as basketball. And softball was our biggest one this year. We had 52 new girls this year. And we do offer all-stars in all sports. With soccer and football, our football team had a pretty good run last year. And our basketball teams have done well, winning some district tournaments in years past. Baseball has been our biggest success. The last 2 years, and I want to say it's the first time that I know of, all teams have either won a district tournament or played in the state tournament because we were the host. So we see growth, and, you know, a lot of times they say if you build it, they'll come. And, you know, because of the complex and the success we have out there, and we have a local college softball team playing out there who just had success and won a CIAA championship. We believe that's part of the growth, and the community, coming together, not just basketball, or not just baseball, softball, but you see some of our local colleges having success as well. Our local football team in South Carolina State having success, and a lot of our high schools having success as well. And so people want to be part of Parks and Rec and our sports. And we have some really, really good volunteers that help keep those kids around. And we're fortunate to have those volunteers. But like I said, we're getting ready for baseball and softball all-stars. So we have some teams that we think can make a run and hopefully give us our first state championship. And we all get to go to the World Series.
Great. Any other final thoughts?
Well, I would like to just say we have a slogan in parks that it starts in parks. And we truly believe that an active community is a healthy community, and a healthy community is a prosperous community. It starts in parks. And so we are very excited about our opportunity, where we're heading together, and we welcome all our citizens to come out and be a part of all of the great activities and events that we have going on here in the city of Orangeburg. It starts in parks.
Thank you. So just a couple of questions that just came to mind. Now, you kept mentioning that 12-year-old cutoff, and I just wanted to know, at any point, are there plans to offer like adult leagues of soccer, tennis? I think you mentioned something about tennis, softball, volleyball, maybe starting up a pickleball league.
And so we do look at that, and that's one of the challenges when we look at our program offerings, and a lot of times our sports cut off at 12 because of the middle schools and high schools. And so we do offer 13, 14-year-olds. Most of the time, we just don't get enough participants to sign up. And it's the same thing for adults. We do offer throughout our year, we will put out that we'll have a basketball league for adults. We try to offer a softball tournament for adults. And we don't get enough participation, so we can't offer it. It'd be cost prohibitive to offer. But we always are looking at avenues and ways to bring in more folks and keep them, all our citizens, active. But currently, we get the most participation from that 12 and under. But we do always try to offer 14 and 13, 15-year-olds. For some of those youngsters that may not make the middle school team or the B team, if we get enough, we will offer those teams, those youngsters, an opportunity to play. And then our challenge is to go out and find them other organizations, other teams to play. But we do try to offer it throughout the year as well.
Okay.
So in basketball would be our only one that we don't offer, or that we do offer anything above 12. We have a 13 and 14-year-old basketball team that's had really good success the last couple of years, and we're fortunate to get those kids, and maybe those kids that didn't make the middle school team or didn't make the JV team, but have the opportunity to get better so they can make the team next year, and they come out and they do a really good job. And like I said, we have a really good volunteers in that age group that takes them each year and does a good job. And you see a lot of those kids the next year make that JV team or make that varsity team because of the success that they had in our program. And then I do want to add on, every Wednesday at our city gym, we have, well, every other month we have bingo, but every Wednesday we have Silver Slippers line dancing, who would love to have anybody come out and join them. They are a great group, fantastic group to have. And then we also have about 8 to 10 pickleball players every Wednesday who would also love to have people come out and compete with them. They're very competitive. I know they tried to get me in there, but I got to do a little practice before I get in there with them.
All right, so you heard that adults, the silver slippers, line dancers, and the pickleball. If you're interested, come on out. And if you're interested in any of those other sports, then contact, again, the Parks and Recreation Department, and perhaps we can get some adult teams or more adult teams started, and or even that middle school, high school range. So if we need coaches or volunteers, again, if you want to help, or if you're interested in helping in the gardens, because I know we have a lot of green thumbs in the city, should they contact you, Mr. Houston?
Yeah, they can contact me.
All right, so again, that number is 803-533-6020 if you are interested in helping Mr. Houston in the gardens, coaching any of these teams that we have in the city, or volunteering in any capacity. As you heard, there are a lot of events happening at the North Road Complex, at the City Gym, And so volunteers are always needed. We just came off of the CIAA tournament that was hosted off of, or out at North Road Complex. And then, we didn't talk about Mermo Field, but I think there's something special that's getting ready to happen in Mermo Field as well, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Okay. So we will be hosting, or leasing out the facility to a collegiate wooden bat team, the Garden City River Ducks, and their schedule starts. They start play in June, first week in June. Don't correct me on that date, but first week in June, and they have a website, GardenCityRiverDucks.com, and we're excited about the opportunity to have them, and they will play 20 home games at our facility, which is another opportunity to help our local youth. If they come out and they see these college players playing, then hopefully we can see an uptick in our registration next year for baseball, for kids to just say, hey, Mom, Dad, I want to play baseball next year, and I want to hopefully one day play in this field, because Mermo is a historic stadium, and it's very, very unique, because you don't see a lot of stadiums like it anymore.
So again, that's an indirect connection to Parks and Recs happening at Mermo Field with the Garden City River Ducks getting ready to start play on that field in June. And you can find out more information about them at GardenCityRiverDucks.com. Could you say, if you had to put a number on it, how many kids and adults do we serve through Parks and Rec, if we had to throw a number out there?
Well, this year alone in baseball and softball, we had 513 kids. And since I've been here, I'm going on 4 years, and that's the most we've had, and it's gradually increased. And I think I have a number. I think for our softball, I think we had the biggest increase. So I went back to 2018, and I looked at our numbers in 2018 to present. So over an 8-year time span, we offered 6U this year, which was our first year, which was great. We didn't think we would get any participants, but we ended up with 2 teams. And like Marty said, I think they're going to be okay going into the state tournament, and I think they're pretty good. But our increase was 185% increase from 2018 to present. So that was our biggest increase in numbers. Basketball, I think our basketball numbers increased I want to say 67% in basketball this year, which is great for us. Like I said, we're still getting kids, and we don't turn any away. When registration is over, I still push to keep the kids. Whether we got to go out and coach ourselves, we do it. We thank our volunteers, and none of our programs would function without our volunteers. So we have great volunteers, and like I said, it's without them, our programs wouldn't run. So we want to encourage parents, whoever, to come out and spend time with those kids and point them in the right direction.
So Matt talked a little bit about the increase in softball, and softball is our biggest increase right now, and it's probably our most popular sport right now. That went from 54 young ladies in 2018 to this year we got 154 young ladies. So we continue to see growth, and that's because of the investment we have from our volunteers as well as our parents and the community.
Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for what you do to serve these kids and to serve our citizens in the city of Orangeburg and beyond, because I know it's not just city residents that are visiting these spaces, but Parks and Recreation, like you said, it starts in Parks and Recreation is one of those areas that pulls in everyone, city residents, county residents, visitors, and the like. So thank you all for everything that you're doing to pour into our Parks and Recreation Department, and for all of the services that you offer. Again, if you want to come out and help these individuals, these teams, these kids, just be a mentor for a day or two, or just come out and watch them play. Again, you can find out more information by calling 803-533-6020 or checking out our website. And there is so much going on in the city of Orangeburg. So if you hear otherwise, let them know they need to contact Parks and Recreation. Again, thank you all so much for joining us tonight. Thank you all for everything that you do. And again, join us for our last in the series of community chats. I do not have the date or the topic, but you can visit our website and find out more information. Again, thank you all so much and have a blessed evening.
Thank you.